Hi everyone! Welcome again to another edition of Storytime with Robbie. Today we are continuing with the Halloween themed books. Today I'm going to be reading you one more story about a monster, and then I'm going to be reading you three stories about pumpkins in them. So really hope you enjoy. Today, the first one I'm going to read is It's Halloween Little Monster by Helen Kettleman. And then I will be reading Pippa the Pumpkin Fairy by Tim Bugbird. And I'll be reading Christopher Pumpkin by Sue Hendra and Paul Linnett. And I will be reading Pete the Cat, Five Little Pumpkins by James Dean. Hope you enjoy. Let's get started. Alrighty, everybody. The second story I'm going to read to you today is the first of three stories with a pumpkin in it. This first one is Pippa the Pumpkin Fairy by Tim Bugbird. Here we go. When Pippa first used her fairy wand, it was shiny, sparkly, and new. On whoosh, one whoosh made a pumpkin lantern, and a swoosh made a face with a boo. The lanterns were made for a party that came around once a year, when trees were turning golden and winter was drawing near. But one year, Pippa was shocked when she waved her wand and she found all the wrong kind of lanterns in a row by her feet on the ground. When Penny and Bee came over to see how Pippa was getting along, she panicked and covered the pumpkins. "Great," she said, "nothing's wrong. The lanterns are just so booey. I had to hide them away. They're under this cloth so no one can see till the party. That's where they'll stay." "Promise," said Pippa, "you won't tell a soul? We must not spoil the surprise. They're the best I've ever made. You won't believe your eyes." But Penny and Bee could not resist telling a friend or two. The news was so big they didn't know that what Pippa said wasn't true. As Penny was talking, Prue overheard and called Maisie Chur, her very best friend, who spread the word on Flitter. Pippa's pumpkins began to trend. Talk of beautiful pumpkins soon made the national news, and still Pippa's wand would not work. She didn't know what to do. The rumor was getting out of hand. It was all a terrible mess. But the longer she left it, the harder it was for Pippa to try to confess. Breaking news, Pippa's beautiful pumpkins. The day of the pumpkin party arrived, and the fairies couldn't wait to see just how truly amazing Pippa's lanterns were going to be. Pippa nervously peeked outside, watched by a TV crew. "It's time at last," the presenter announced. "Pippa, over to you." Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, lightning cut through the sky. The fairies looked up as the rain poured down. They couldn't keep anything dry. Decorations were soggy and tables were wet. The cakes and the snacks were soaked through. The party was ruined, or so it seemed. There was nothing the fairies could do. Pippa thought, "It can't get worse. I might as well come clean. I'm sorry," she said, "but I'm about to show you the worst pumpkins you've ever seen." There was a gasp, then stony silence, followed by laughter and cheers. The fairies were applauding Pippa. She couldn't believe her ears. Pippa's pumpkins weren't boo-y at all. They did have woo or wah, but with their funny ha-ha-ha faces, they were the best ever lanterns by far. We're sorry we started rumors, said Bee. Pippa said, I'm sorry too. I got into such a muddle. I should have been honest with you. The fairies put on their ponchos. The rain wouldn't spoil their fun. By the light of the laughing lanterns, their party had just begun. Now, if you're ever in Fairyland, when leaves turn gold from green, you'll find Pippa's pumpkin lanterns, the funniest you've ever seen. The end. Alrighty, everybody. The third story I'm going to read today is Christopher Pumpkin by Sue Hendra and Paul Linnet. Here we go. On Snaggletooth Lane in spooky Spooksville was a dark, creepy castle perched high on a hill. Deep in that castle, by the glow of the fire, sat a wicked old witch with a burning desire to throw a huge party, the scariest yet, one that her friends would never forget. There's too much to do. It'll drive me berserk. Now, who can I find that will do all the work? She looked all around, then what did she spy? A big pile of pumpkins she bought for a pie. They could be useful and scary as well. I'll bring them to life with the help of a spell. She was making an army and having a ball. As they sprang into life, she gave names to them. Gnarly, Grizzly, Grunty, Roar, Snaggle Tooth, Stinkface, and maybe one more. The witch raised her wand for one final go. There were sparkles and glitter, then a voice said, Hello, I'm Christopher Pumpkin. I like all things fun. I'm so happy to be here. Group hug, everyone. He stretched out his arms and gave them a grin, overflowing with kindness and warmth from within. Oh no, screeched the witch. What on earth did I make? You're supposed to be scary. I've made a mistake. Now, hang on a minute, said Christopher P. I'm sure I'll fit in. Just wait and you'll see. All right, snapped the witch, as there's so much to do, but Christopher Pumpkin, I'll be watching you. Fliz, crackle. Now, get on with your work and make decorations. I want horrible, ghastly, frightful creations. Did someone say decor? That's right, up my street. Forget about tricks and prepare for a treat. There was lifting and shifting and huffing and grunting, but while others hung cobwebs, Chris hung up bunting. Then along came the witch. Work harder, buffoons, but instead of bat lanterns, Chris chose balloons. The horrified pumpkins all scuttled away. They needed to find party music to play. My favorite music is howling and screaming, said Gnarly the pumpkin, his scary eyes gleaming. How? I'm sorry, said Chris, but that sounds bizarre. Let's all have a sing-song. I brought my guitar. How now for the food. It was time to begin. So they stood around the cauldron, tossing things in. First, some earwax, then hair from a yeti, a poisonous bug, and some moldy spaghetti. The result was rat pizza all sprouting with hair, and stinky green cheese made from old underwear. Some hot curried slugs, fried spicy snakes. Then in walked our Chris with some pink fairy cakes. This just isn't working. I think you'll agree, said the witch as she glared down at Christopher P. I've had quite enough. You're not part of this group. If you can't be scary, I'll turn you to soup. You've got till the morning. Have I made myself clear? Poor Christopher nodded, frozen with fear. I don't want to be soup or a pie or stew. I'll stay up all night and plan what to do. I'm Christopher Pumpkin. I like all things fun, but there must be a way I can scare everyone. He worked through the night, never taking a break, but the clock, it was ticking. Soon the witch would awake. The morning arrived and the pumpkins all stared at Christopher's bed. He's gone, they declared. I suppose that it's better he went without fuss. There was really no chance he could ever scare us. Along came the witch. Now out of my way, my guests are arriving. The party's today. So poor Chris had vanished, or so it would seem. But then from outside came an almighty scream. It's horrid. It's nasty. This isn't funny. Please, somebody, stop him. I want my mummy. There were unicorns skipping balloons on the door, fluffy pink kittens and sparkles galore. There were marshmallow puffs piled up in mountains. Strawberry milkshake was squirting from fountains. I'm Christopher Pumpkin. I like all the things fun. But before he could finish, the witch shouted, Run! Wait! Don't you like it? Chris called with delight. Well, one thing's for sure, I scared them all right. The end. Alrighty, everybody. The last story I'm going to read today that with pumpkins in it is called Pete the Cat, 5 Little Pumpkins by James Dean. Here we go. Five little pumpkins sitting on a gate. The first one said, Oh my, it's getting late. The second one said, There are witches in the air. The third one said, But we don't care. The fourth one said, Let's run and run and run. The fifth one said, I'm ready for some fun. Trick or treat. Oh, oh, went the wind. Out went the lights. And the 5 little pumpkins rolled out of sight. Happy Halloween! Trick or treat, 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 trick or treat. The end. Alrighty, everybody. Really hope you enjoyed the second part of the Halloween themed books. Thank you so much again for joining me and for watching. It's always a pleasure being with you and reading to you. Please comment on the video as always and let me know what you think of the books. I always like to hear your feedback, and let me know what your favorite story was that I read today. Have an amazing rest of your day, and make sure to join me next week when we continue more Halloween-themed books on Storytime with Robbie, and when we feature a Storytime edition with ghost-themed books, and another Storytime edition where we feature books about skeletons and mummies. So really hope you look forward to that and enjoy it. Until then, I'm heading out of here. I will see you next time. Toodaloo.